Hi everyone, welcome back to your second class of the Letting Go and Moving On series. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today's practice is going to be a strong Vinyasa flow, and we'll be moving through the theme of riding the wave, and I'll explain that in a little more detail in a minute. As always, before every yoga practice, please take care of your body. Please modify if you need to. I'll offer modifications throughout the practice. And I hope you enjoy today's practice. You will need a block, or you might need a block. If you don't have a block at home, that's totally fine. You can use an old paint tin or a box or a stool. Also, if you have like one of those really sturdy, strong water bottles, that could also do the trick as well. So grab your block and let's get started. So for today's practice, we're going to be starting in hero's pose. So coming up onto our knees. And you can, if you want to take this further, what you can do is you can spread your feet apart behind you and sit between your feet. Now this can be quite intense on the knees, especially if this is maybe the first physical activity you're doing for the day. So feel free to just put your feet together and sit back on your feet. I find that more comfortable for me personally. And whenever you're ready, just begin to close down the eyes or find a soft gaze. Begin to drop in to your mat, drop your awareness into your body. As we move through this practice, this water sequence, feel free to take up the Ujjayi breath, which is the ocean sounding breath. And if you've never practiced Ujjayi before, that's totally fine. Just take on a rhythmic breath. And I really encourage you to come back to that breath throughout the practice, especially when things feel a little bit challenging. Always turn to the breath. Keeping that breath in mind, just begin to get a sense of awareness over your body. How are you feeling today? Maybe you're doing this first thing in the morning and you're feeling a bit stiff. Or perhaps you've had a long day sitting in a chair and you'd like to flow, move your body a bit. Just bring awareness into the body. Throughout today's practice, please make sure you look after yourself. I'll offer modifications throughout. And also feel free to just come into child's pose whenever you need a bit of a rest. Throughout today's practice, we'll be working through the theme of riding the wave. And essentially, throughout any yoga practice, you have peaks and valleys, or maybe not all yoga practices, but I feel that within my own practice, there's always peaks and valleys. You know, we might come to the mat with these expectations of what we think we should be doing, and oftentimes our bodies are just not ready for that, for whatever reason. So how can we navigate those peaks and valleys? How can we ride the wave throughout our practice? The thing about waves is they're often outside of ourselves, so we have no control over them or when they come on to us. But we do have control over the way we navigate them. So as you move through today's practice, really remember that. Really remember that at the end of the day, you navigate your wave however you feel fit. However you see fit. And with that in mind, take a deep breath in. Exhale. Flutter the eyes open. And let's begin our practice. So staying in hero's pose, I'm going to stay here so that I can face you. So staying in hero's pose, we're going to start a few rhythmic cat-cows, just seated here. So inhaling, the arms go up. They spread wide. Allow your shoulder blades to kiss at the back of your body. And exhale, flow, bring the hands round the spine and bring the hands around your shoulders and give yourself a bit of a hug here. Inhaling, opening up, allowing the shoulder blades to kiss at the back of the body. And exhale, rounding the spine, giving ourselves a bit of a hug here. Feel free to swap whatever arm was on the top the first time. Allow it to go on the bottom this time. Inhaling, opening up. Shoulders kiss at the back of the body. And exhale around the spine. And one more here. Inhale, opening up. And exhale, rounding. Whenever you're ready, just tip forward onto your knees and bring your hands to the mat. I'm going to turn around so that you can see me. Coming into our 4-point pose. So your shoulders are directly over your wrists and your hips are over your knees. From here, we're just going to make a few rhythmic circles and go in whichever direction you feel most inclined to go first. It can be left or right. And just begin to make small circles with your upper body. So it's almost like you're going from a 4-point pose, slightly over the shoulders, almost like you're going to go into child's pose, but not quite. And you can make these circles as big or as small as you need. Just trying to get into the muscles in the wrists to help us warm up. And whenever you're ready, reverse your direction. And just keep doing those nice circles. And go as big or as small as you need. We will be working into the wrists quite a bit today and the shoulders. So we really just want to make sure that our bodies are warmed up efficiently and correctly. Excellent, everyone. Whenever you're ready, just come back to a neutral 4-point pose or tabletop position. From here, just rotate your fingertips towards your knees. So your palms are still flat on the mat, but your fingertips have just changed directions. And from here, just gently sit back towards your heels. Now, you might not get very far here. I don't. This is about as far as I can manage in this posture. And it doesn't really matter how far back you go. It's all about massaging into the wrists, really working those tendons and those muscles within the hands to make sure we're getting a nice stretch here. Remember to breathe. Breathe, everyone. Whenever you're ready, you can just bring your fingertips back to face front or face the front of the mat. And from here, we're going to curl the toes under, push our hips back, and come into our first downward dog. Feel free to take a few moments here to pedal the legs or to move the body in any way that feels authentic, just to kind of help wake up the hamstrings, engage the shoulders. Taking a few pedals here myself. And whenever you're ready, inhale up onto your tippy toes and exhale, shift your heels towards the right side of the mat and bring them down to the floor. So you're getting a bit of a stretch here through the right calf and the right hamstring. It's okay if your heels don't touch all the way to the floor or the mat, that's totally fine. Just go wherever you feel your edge. And inhaling once more, going through the center, up on our tippy toes, and then rotating the heels to the left side of the mat. And breathe here. Excellent, everyone. Come back through to center. Drop the knees to the mat. And from here, we're going to slide our upper body forward. Our hips are going to still stay over our knees, and we're going to come into Anahatasana or puppy pose. And in this posture, you can either have your hands stretched all the way out so that your chest is really opening up here, or if that doesn't feel comfortable through the shoulders, make sure you rest on your forearms as much as you need. And you can bring your forehead to the mat. Take a deep breath here. And exhale. Great, everyone. We're going to come back up onto our hands, or we're going to come back up into our downward dog. So press back. And from here, we're going to walk the feet slowly towards the hands. Excellent, everyone. And just allow your body to hang here in Uttanasana. So standing forward fold. Shake the head yes and no. Relax the neck. And on your next inhale, slowly begin to creep up the spine. So stacking one vertebrae on top of the other. Going gently and slowly. Great. And coming back up to standing. If you're not at the top of your mat, find yourself there now. And on your next inhale, we're going to lift up our hands overhead. Our gaze goes towards the thumbs. Exhale, we swan dive forward with a flat back. Hands come towards the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, we fold forward again. And we step back into our plank. From here, we take our vinyasa, so feel free to do whatever variation you like. Knees, chest, chin, coming up into cobra. Take a breath here. And exhaling through the knees to downward dog. Great, everyone. On your next inhale, slowly walk the feet towards the hands, coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. Great. Inhaling, we rise up. Hands come to heart center. Excellent. Going to do that one more time. So inhaling, hands go up. Gaze is to the thumbs. Exhaling with a flat back towards the mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhaling, we fold into our body again. Hands come to the mat. We step, walk, or jump back into our high plank. And take whatever vinyasa you feel. So chaturanga, up dog, to down dog. Great, everyone. Really flow with the breath here. Take a few more pedals of your legs if you need here in downward dog. Also feel free, if we're doing a vinyasa, to just meet us in downward dog if you prefer not to put any strain on the shoulders. And inhaling or exhaling the feet towards the hands. Ooh, the wind here. Feet towards the hands. And inhaling back up to rise. Hands come to heart center. Excellent, everyone. So this time we're going to inhale, the hands sweep up overhead while we sink the hips low, coming into our chair pose or Utkatasana. So you really want to make sure that your tailbone is tucked so that you're really lengthening through the spine here. And we're here for 2 breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Hands come towards the mat. We step back into our high plank. Again, take whatever variation of the vinyasa you like. And exhaling, downward dog. We always meet in downward dog. Pedal the legs here. On your next inhale, lift the right leg high and sweep it forward in between and plant that foot in between the 2 hands. Excellent, everyone. From here, we're going to rotate the back heel and plant it firmly on the mat. Inhale, we rise up, standing to warrior 1. Excellent, everyone. Hold here. Look down at your feet and just make sure that if you feel like you're losing your balance, feel free to open up the stance as much as you need. So you don't have to feel like you're walking on a tightrope here. Press through all four corners of your feet while simultaneously drawing the right hip back so that you're squaring the hips to the front of the mat. And exhale, hands come down to the mat. We step back and we flow through our vinyasa. Exhale, we meet in downward dog. Great, everyone. Inhale, lift the left leg up this time, lift it high. And exhale, bend that knee, bring it forward, and place the left foot in between your hands. Great. From here, we rotate the back heel to plant it firmly on the mat. Adjust your stance if you need, and inhale, we come up to standing. Great. Coming into our warrior one here. Grounding through all four corners of both feet, pulling that left hip back in space so that we're squaring the hips to the front of the mat. Exhaling, we fold forward, step back into our plank. We go through our vinyasa. Exhale, we meet in downward dog. Great, everyone. From here, you can step, walk, or jump your feet towards your hands. If you're jumping, try and do it as quietly and with control as possible. Even though we're moving and flowing here, we really want to move with control. Inhale, hands sweep up while the hips come down, coming into chair pose or utkatasana. We're here for 2 breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. We press up to stand. Hands come to heart center. Give yourself a moment here. Maybe your heart is racing a little bit. Your heart rate is climbing. It's all good. Take a moment to reset the breath. Begin again. So inhaling, arms go up, hips drop down. We're coming into chair pose once more. We're here for 2 breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Hands come to the mat. Great, everyone. From here, we step, walk, or jump back into our high plank. Shoulders come forward. We drop into our vinyasa. We meet in downward dog. Excellent. Inhaling that right leg up high, we bend the knee, bring it forward, and plant that right foot between the 2 hands. Rotating the back heel, we plant it firmly on the mat, lifting up into warrior one. From here, we're going to send our arms back behind us, interlacing behind us, and we're going to push our hands all the way down beyond our bottom. So you're extending through the arms here. From here, we're going to pour our body forward into humble warrior. Hands can come up and over, really opening up through those shoulders and making sure that we're not just dumping into our hip here. Really engage the legs and the glutes. Inhale, we come up and exhale. One more time, we're going to inhale, peeling our body forward. Hands can go over. And if you're finding it difficult to hold on to your fingers here, feel free to use a strap if you have one. And exhale. And inhale, we come back up. Excellent, everyone. Release the hands, send them back down towards the mat. Push that right leg back into your... And let's just go into downward dog, actually. Let's skip the chaturanga there. So we come through into downward dog. Excellent, everyone. Inhale, we're going to lift the left leg up high. Bend the left knee, bring it forward, and place the left foot in between the hands. We rotate the back heel, planting it firmly on the floor, and inhale, lifting up to standing into our warrior one. Once you feel you've caught your balance here, send the arms behind you, interlace the fingers, send them and slide them down the bottom, opening up through the shoulders here. On our next exhale, we pour our body forward. Hands can go up and over, and we really want to make sure we're not dumping into the hip joint here. We're really focusing on pushing up through the legs here while opening up our shoulders. Inhale, we come back up to center. Take one full breath here. And on your next exhale, pour your body back down. Inhale, we come back up. Release the hands, send them back down to the mat. From here, we step our left foot back and we move through our Vinyasa. Or we meet in downward dog. Excellent, everyone. So good. Oh, I have a little stick bug on my mat. Be careful not to step on him. Gently begin to walk the feet, or you can jump the feet towards the hands. Dipping the hips, lifting the arms, coming up into Utkatasana or chair pose. Great, everyone. We're here for 2 breaths. Excellent. And we push up to rise. Wonderful. We're going to get right back into it. So inhaling, our arms go up overhead, hips drop down in chair. Exhaling, hands come to the mat. We step back into our plank pose. Instead of going into our chaturanga, we're going to press back into downward dog here for a moment. Lifting our right foot up high, we're going to bend that knee and bring the knee to the nose. Excellent. Exhaling, growing long one more time. Inhaling, we're bringing knee to nose. Great. Exhaling, coming back up in our tripod dog. Inhaling, we're now going to bring our right knee to our left elbow. So giving a bit of a twist here. We're trying to activate the core. And one more time, inhaling, that right knee comes to the left elbow. Great, everyone. And exhale, back up. Place that right foot back to the mat. And inhale, lift the left leg up high. Bend that left knee and bring that knee to the nose. Excellent. And exhaling, pressing back up. Inhale, knee comes to nose one more time. Great. Pressing back up. Inhale, left knee comes to right elbow. Great, everyone. And exhale, back up. One more time. Inhaling, left knee comes to right elbow. And exhaling, back up. Beautiful. Put that left leg back down into downward dog. Gonna move through something like that again with a little variation this time. So stay with me. Inhaling, we're going to lift our right leg up high. Bend that knee. Sweep it forward. And instead of coming to the elbow or the nose, we're going to extend the right leg so that we're coming into fallen triangle. From here, you can open up and rotate through the left shoulder, coming into your fallen triangle. Excellent, everyone. Stay with me. Exhale, the hand back comes back to the mat. That foot goes right back up into your tripod and back down to downward dog. Excellent, everyone. We're going to do the other side now. So inhaling, that left leg comes up high. We bend that left knee, sweep it forward, and then extend it out to the right side of the mat. Great. From here, you can rotate, pivot sort of on your back foot, and open up through the right shoulder. Breathe here. Exhale, that hands comes back down to the mat. Extend the foot. Wonderful, everyone. Place it back down on the mat. Knees come to the mat, and we step back, press back into child's pose. Great, everyone. Reset the breath here. Beautiful. Inhaling, we're coming back onto our 4-point pose, right? From here, we're going to step back into our downward dog. So curling the toes under, pressing back into downward dog. Wonderful. From here, we're going to lift through our right foot or right leg, lift it high, bend the right knee, sweep it forward, plant it in between your two hands. Excellent. You want to maybe do this right in the middle of your mat, because we're going to come up into Warrior 2 next. So we're going to rotate the back heel. Make sure that front foot is perpendicular to the back foot. So toes are pointing forward of the front foot, and then toes are pointing towards the left side of the mat for the back foot. And we're going to inhale, coming up into our Warrior 2. So we spread the shoulders wide, we rotate the hips towards the left side of the mat. We can have a look down and make sure our knees are not tracking inward but outward. So pushing outward while simultaneously rotating that hip forward, or square rather. Great, everyone. From here, we're going to flip the palm of the right hand, move forward gently, and reverse the warrior. Great. And hold here. The legs stay exactly the same. As we inhale, we come up halfway. Our hands come up to the ceiling. Bring them through to prayer, and watch how we move through here. So we're going to start to lengthen the front leg while simultaneously bending through the back knee, coming into Skandasana or side lunge. And you can go as high or as low as you want here. So if you're here in Warrior 2, you can come here in Skandasana. That is totally fine. You can flex those toes forward if you want a bit more of a stretch through your hamstring. Great. From here, from our Skandasana, we move up, bending through the front leg, coming up into our Warrior 2 again. Excellent, everyone. We're going to do that one more time. So from here, we're going to come down through with our hands. Excellent. We're going to step back into our downward dog and stay here for a moment. Wonderful. Don't worry, guys. We're going to do that one again. We're going to inhale, come forward to flow through your chaturanga, or your vinyasa rather. If not, we meet in downward dog. Excellent. We're going to float that right foot up again, bend the right knee, sweep it forward, coming into our Warrior 2. Excellent, everyone. Great. From here, we're going to flip the front palm, inch forward slightly, come back into our reverse warrior. Great, everyone. Inhale, we come up halfway, bringing the hands up in front or above us, coming through prayer. We lengthen that front leg, bend the back knee, coming into our Skandasana. Excellent. From here, we're going to start to shift the weight. So shifting the weight, pressing through that back leg, shifting the weight forward, bending the front knee, coming into Warrior 2. We sweep the hands forward, step back into our downward dog. Wonderful. And then inch forward into our Vinyasa. We meet in downward dog, everyone. Excellent. Take a moment here, reset the breath. Remember to breathe through the other side. So we're going to lift up through the left leg, bend the left knee, sweep it forward, plant the left foot. Remember, we really want to square up our alignment for Warrior 2 here. So making sure your foot is in the middle of your mat, your back leg rotates, or your back heel rotates, so that your front foot is perpendicular to your back foot. Excellent. From here we come up into our warrior two. Great, everyone. Making sure our knee is tracking to the outside of our front foot, and our hips are squaring as much as they can towards the right side of the mat. Extending through the arms and the shoulders, looking over the left fingertips. Great, everyone. From here we flip the front palm, inch forward, send the body upper body back into reverse warrior. Legs stay exactly the same. Inhale and exhale here. On your next inhale, we come up so that we bring the upper body up to a neutral spine. Then we come through our prayer position. We lengthen the front foot while simultaneously bending through the back leg. Feel free to shift the foot if you need to a little bit, coming into our Skandasana. Excellent, everyone. Making sure we're lengthening through the spine here. Also making sure you're coming up as high as you need to or as low as you need to feel comfortable. There's no shame in any game, so do what you need to. From here, we're going to shift, pressing through that back foot, pressing up, coming through, shifting the weight to the front foot, coming back into our warrior two. Excellent, everyone. From here, we windmill the hands forward onto the mat. Send the left leg back, coming back into downward dog. Wonderful, everyone. From here, we roll the shoulders forward, come into our Vinyasa. Before we meet in downward dog, it's up to you. Great. Woof, I'm feeling energized. How about you? Inhaling, lifting the left leg high, bending that left knee, sweeping it forward, planting that left foot between our hands. We rotate the back heel, coming up into our warrior two. Nice and strong here, guys. Checking our alignment before we move forward. Really pushing through those legs and those glutes. Exhale, inhale, we're going to flip the grip, send the body back into our reverse warrior. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Our hands come to prayer in front of us while we simultaneously lengthen through the front leg and bend through the back, coming into our Skandasana. And go slow here, guys. You really want to make sure you're using your muscles and not dumping into your joints. So go as slow as you need. That left foot flexes towards you if you want a bit more of a stretch through your calf and hamstring. If not, you can bend it or curl the toe towards the front of the mat. Great, everyone. From here, we're pressing in to our back or our right leg. So pressing through there, using the muscles, coming through, bending the front leg, coming into warrior two. Great, everyone. We windmill the hands forward, step the leg back, coming in to our downward dog. Sorry, everyone. Lost my words there. Downward dog. Great. From here, we're going to inch forward, and instead of going into our chaturanga, what we're going to do is we're going to place the right hand in the middle of our mat. We're going to put our feet together and then rotate onto the outside edge of our right foot while we simultaneously lift through the left shoulder. So coming into Vashisthasana or side plank. If you're feeling this is quite challenging, put the knee down. Super simple. Put the knee down. You're still getting all the benefits here. Put the knee down. If you don't have your knee down, make sure you're pressing through all the knuckles in your right hand so that you're not just dumping onto your wrists either. Really use the muscles in the hand here to help you out. From here, if you feel so inclined, you're going to lift up through the left foot. So bend the left knee, send that left foot behind you, coming into a gentle back bend of Wild Thing. Excellent, everyone. From here, we exit the way we came in. So lifting that left foot, placing it back down. Exhale, we come into our plank and press back into child's pose. Great, everyone. I know we're doing a few challenging postures here. Stay with me. Always modify if you need. Never push beyond your edge. protect your body. Catch the breath. Excellent, everyone. Whenever you're ready, inch back forward onto your 4 points. Come into your plank pose, your high plank. Move the left hand into the middle of the mat. Rotate onto the side of the left foot, opening up into your Vashisthasana or side angle pose. Really engage the core here. Send the hips high. So you're trying to lift the hips while simultaneously engaging the core. Excellent. From here, drop the knee if you need. From here, bend the right knee up to the sky. Send the right foot back behind the left leg, coming into a gentle back bend. Wild thing. Breathe here, everyone. We exit the way we came in, so we're lifting up that back foot, sending it forward, and coming into our high plank. Knees come to the mat. Child's pose. Excellent, everyone. You're rocking it. Stay with me. Ride the wave. Ride the wave of your breath. Good. Inhale, we're coming back up through to center. We're going to press back, curl the toes under, pressing back into our downward dog. Great, everyone. From here, you're going to lift through the right leg, lift it high, bend that right knee, come forward, plant that right foot in between the hands. Excellent, everyone. From here, we're going to lift up into our side angle pose. So the feet are just as they would be in Warrior 2, or the legs are just as they would be in Warrior 2. You're taking your right elbow and putting it on top of your left, or your right thigh, sorry. From here, we're going to extend the left arm up and overhead, parallel to our ear, and we're going to rotate the chest open towards the sky. Great, everyone. From here, we're going to look down at our right foot. If you don't have your block close, get it now. We're going to take our block and we're going to put it about a foot to 2 feet in front of our right foot. From here, we're going to put our hand on the block, or if you want to come up without the block, that's fine too. Same thing applies. Putting our hand on top of the block, we're going to inch forward with our back foot. Front foot stays exactly the same. We lift the back leg. So the back leg is lifted parallel to the floor, coming into Ardha Chandrasana or half moon. So if you feel balanced and stable here, what you could do is lift the left arm open and then shift the gaze, which is the tricky part here. Shift the gaze towards your left fingertips. Here we are. Send energy through that back leg. Really flex that back foot. Point the toes towards the left side of the mat. Really extend the toes that way. Don't necessarily point, but extend and flex the toes that way. Excellent, everyone. Great. From here, we slowly come out. So we extend our foot backwards, our left foot back, and we come up. From here, all 10 toes point towards the left side of the mat, and we spread our feet wide as you need. And from here, we're going to really open up through the spine. Inhale, peel, or exhale, peel the body forward into Prasarita Padottanasana. Engage the core on the way down. Excellent, everyone. You can either put your hands on the mat, hands on blocks, or you can take the bind. So take your 2 pointer fingers, wrap them around your big toe, on the inside of your big toe, and allow your body to pour forward. Prasarita Padottanasana. Really engage through all four corners of the feet here. You're probably feeling the muscles in your legs firing, which is a good thing. We don't want to be dumping into the joints of our knees or our hips. So really make sure you have a slight bend in your knee, you're not locking out your joints, and you're just inching yourself forward, your forehead forward towards the mat. Great, everyone. On your next inhale, place your hands on your hips and rise up. Engage the core, press through the bottom of your feet. Excellent, everyone. Perfect. Got a fly around me that's bothering me. Anyways, from here we're going to turn our left toes towards the back of the mat. So the back of the mat becomes the front of the mat. Great. From here we're going to turn our left toes towards the front of the mat. Excellent. And we're going to come into our side angle pose. Take your block with you if you need now to the back of the mat. Great. So we're coming up into our side angle pose, taking our left elbow to the left thigh, reaching forward. Extend the legs through the back if you need. Reaching our right arm and fingertips over our head. Engaging through the glutes here and the legs, making sure we're not dumping into our hips. Excellent, everyone. On your next inhale, look down towards your toes, extend your arm out towards the mat, and slowly inch yourself forward, coming into your Ardha Chandrasana. Great, everyone. Make sure you're engaging through that back leg, sending energy through the toes, flexing them as much as possible, rotating the hip up. And only if if you feel comfortable here, do you reach the right hand up. Extend energy through that right hand and then follow it with the gaze. Go slowly here, take your time. Breathe into your standing leg. Excellent, everyone. Take your time. If you fall out, don't worry, just come back in. It's no problem. It happens to all of us. Whoop, here I go. Anyways, so whenever you're ready, slowly begin to bring the back foot or the right foot back to the mat. Excellent. From here, our toes come forward and point again to the left side of the mat. Great, everyone. Hands come to the hips. We lift up out of our lower spine first, and then we begin to pour over our legs. Great. Your hands can come to the mat if you feel. I think I'm going to take this variation this time. And this helps if you're feeling a lot of sort of tension in your legs, or you're feeling a lot of the sensation in your legs. What I will say is really try to wrap your thighs inwards, and you'll find how that takes the pressure off of the side of your calf muscles. So really wrap your thighs inward here, and you're going to feel that through the muscles in your thighs. Excellent, everyone. Perfect. On your next inhale, you're just going to walk your hands to the front of the mat, rotate your feet, and we're going to come through to our downward dog. Excellent. So the front of the mat is actually now the front of the mat. We're back to where we started in terms of directional facing. Great. On your next inhale, you're going to roll forward, knees come to the mat. Excellent. We're going to sit back on our heels into our hero's pose. And from here, you really want to make sure that your knees are hip width distance apart. And from here, we're going to sort of rise up onto our knees. So rising up onto our knees. Excellent. From here, you really want to grow tall through the spine. Excellent. And if you want, you can put your hands right on your sacrum, so on the lower part of your spine. Inhale, we are growing tall through the spine. And exhale, we're going to slightly bend backwards into our camel pose. So only take the full variation of this if you feel comfortable. If you're here, that is totally fine. If you want to take the full variation, make sure you're comfortable here first. Really squeeze the glutes together. Press the hips forward. Send the arms back behind you to touch your heels. Excellent. Shine your sternum up. Don't allow yourself to collapse backwards. Really lift through the rib cage. Excellent. Take one full breath here or wherever you are. Slowly walk the hands back up to the hips or to the lower spine. One hand at a time. Use your core and lift back. Come back into child's pose. Take a moment here. Excellent, everyone. Just breathe here. Take a moment, relax, feel that lovely counter stretch through the lower back. Great. On your next inhale, come back up to your 4-point position and then cross your feet behind you and then just sit back. So you're now sitting on your bum. And then shoot the legs forward in front of you. Great, everyone. From here, we're going to come into a seated position with our legs out in front of us. You can move the fleshy part of your bum away so that you really feel your sitting bones rooting into the mat. From here, we're going to inhale, lifting up through our spine. Inhaling the hands up. And exhaling, peeling the body forward. Again, only coming forward as far as you feel you're still lengthening through your spine. If you feel like you're starting to curl early on, stop there. So you just extend as far as you feel you're still lengthening through the spine. And when you've hit that point where you don't think that you can extend any further, then you peel forward towards your forehead comes towards your knees. Also, you can do this with bent knees if you like. If this feels better to you, go for it. Don't just straighten your legs just for the sake of it. Do whatever feels comfortable. So bend your knees if you need to. Peel the body forward into Paschimottanasana. We're here for 3 breaths. With every inhale, feel yourself extend further through the spine and then exhale, round further. Excellent, everyone. Whenever you're ready, take your hands to the side of your mat and just begin to walk them towards your body, coming up slowly to a seated or upright position. Excellent. From here, everyone, we're going to slowly begin to move down onto our backs. So if you want to come up, you can put your soles of your feet on the mat, bend the knees, and slowly begin to lower yourself. So very, very slowly until your whole spine is rested on the mat. Great. Extend the legs out in front of you. Take a moment here. And breathe. Great, everyone. Perfect. On your next inhale, bring your feet together at the bottom of your mat as much as you can. From here, we're going to we're going to bring our hands next to our body, and we're going to just slowly tip our hips up so that we can slide our left hand underneath our bum. So you really want to open up through the shoulders. Make sure your left palm is underneath your bum, and extend the arms as much as you can, and then do the same for the right side. So you want to make sure that your shoulders are open, your elbows are underneath your rib cage almost, and then your hands are underneath your bottom, and your palms are facing the mat. So your palms are engaged with the mat. You're going to point your toes, bring your feet together if they're not there already, and then on your next inhale, you're going to press through your elbows, coming into fish, and then your crown of your head reaches back towards the mat. So this gentle back bend coming into fish. So really pressing through your elbows to make sure that that's what brings you upwards. Great, everyone. Take your time here, breathe. And on your next exhale, slowly lower your head. Release the hands from underneath your bum and release. Great, everyone. If you still have your block next to you or beside you, feel free to grab it now. We're going to come into supported bridge. If you prefer to do your full bridge, that's totally fine too. But I'm going to take the supported variation because I think it's just so lovely after a difficult class. Makes my lower spine feel so good. So anyways, we're going to bend our knees, bringing the soles of our feet to the mat. And you're going to walk the soles of your feet as close to your bottom as possible. So it probably won't get there. At least with me, they don't get there. But I'll get them as close as I can. From here, I'm going to press through the soles of my feet while keeping my knees tracking forward. So I'm trying to get my knees to be parallel to each other. From here, once my hips are lifted off of the mat, I'm going to slide my block and I'm going to place it right in that middle point where my where my lower back meets my bottom or my sacrum. From here, my arms are out at the side. If you're taking full bridge, you just remove the block and interlace your fingers underneath your body, and that's full bridge. And of course, you need to be pressing through the soles of your feet. But in the supported variation, you can just sort of relax into the block. Excellent, everyone. Release here. Allow yourself to take deep inhales and deep exhales. Great, everyone. Whenever you're ready, slowly begin to press through the heels of your feet, press through your soles of your feet, lift your hips off of the block if you've used one. Remove the block and gently allow your spine to start connecting with the mat again. Great. Perfect, everyone. Just going to slide down to make sure I'm in the center here. From here, you're going to keep your feet as they were in bridge. So your knees are bent, soles of the feet are on the mat. And we're going to bend our right foot or your right knee, lift it up, and then externally rotate that right knee so that our right ankle is sort of resting on the thigh of our left leg. So kind of, if you look through your legs, it's kind of making like a triangle in the middle. From here, we're going to take our hands, slide them in between our legs, or slide your right hand in between your legs, and then your left hand comes around to meet it, and they're resting on the back of your left thigh. And from here, you can just begin to pull your left thigh into your chest as much as feels comfortable. Coming into a reclining pigeon pose. And you should feel this right through the glute, all the way down the back of your thigh. This is also great for anyone who suffers with IT band issues. And it's such a great way to make sure we're really stretching the glute muscles since we did so many lunges today. Excellent, everyone. Next, inhale, slowly release the hands. Gently allow that left foot to come back to the mat and release the right leg. Great. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So planting the right foot onto the mat. Knees are bent. We're going to bend the left knee upwards towards our body, externally rotate that knee so that the left ankle rests on the right thigh. Inhale, catch your right thigh behind you. You can interlace the fingers if you need, or use a strap. And from here, bring your right thigh as close to your body as you feel comfortable. Excellent, everyone, and breathe here. Awesome, everyone. Slowly release the hands and then allow that right foot to come back to the mat. Release the left leg. Excellent. From here, we're going to just keep our knees bent. We're going to take our hands out to a T-shaped position out to our sides. Going to lift your knees up or lift your soles of your feet up from the mat, so knees are still bent, and then slowly begin to send your knees to the left side of your mat. So coming into just an easy twist here. And then allow your gaze to go over your right fingertips. Excellent, everyone. Just stay here for a few breaths. Whenever you're ready, slowly begin to lift your knees up again while simultaneously allowing your neck to come back to neutral. And exhale over to the right side. So knees go to the right, and then our gaze goes to the left fingertips. Got some heavy winds coming in through here. Everyone. Breathe into your twist. And on your next inhale, gently begin to lift your knees back up to center while simultaneously adjusting your neck. Great. From here, just take the knees out wide. And then catch the soles of your feet, the outside edges of your feet with your palms, and come into happy baby pose. You can also take this variation with putting your two fingers interlaced between the toes if you prefer that. Coming into your happy baby, really press your sacrum or really press your lower spine into the mat. So you're almost trying to move your bum towards the mat, really lengthening as much as you can here through the spine, while simultaneously pulling your knees in towards your chest. You can take a few sort of rocks from side to side here. That feels really nice sometimes. Beautiful. And whenever you're ready, release your feet, release your hands. Send your feet out in front of you. Allow your toes to flop out to the side. Allow your hands to come beside you. Take any of the comfortable movements that you need in order to prepare for your Shavasana. Release any rhythmic breathing if you haven't already. You can close down the eyes or keep a soft gaze. Allow the sensation of the earth beneath you to draw you in. Almost like you're an ice cube melting on a hot day. Relax your ankles and your feet, your knees and your thighs. Relax the hips and your bum, your ribs, your neck, your shoulders and your arms. Relax your tongue, your forehead, and that space right between the eyebrows. Allow any sensations or sounds, thoughts to slip away. Give yourself the next 5 minutes of uninterrupted rest of both body and mind. Slowly begin to reawaken the body. body, stretching the ankles and the wrists, and traveling all the way up. You can take your arms overhead and take a nice stretch. From here, bring your knees into your chest and roll over onto one side into a fetal position. Take a moment here. Whenever you're ready, come up to a seated position. Whatever position you feel comfortable in. Grow tall through the spine. Allow yourself to reintegrate into your surroundings. And join me for just a short meditation. Begin to take notice of your breath without necessarily changing it or making it something else. Just take notice, bring awareness to the way the air flows in and out. In the same way that a wave ebbs and flows into the shore. Imagine your breath as that wave that moves through your body. Life bringing you in and life moving out. Breathe in, allow that wave to fill you up completely. And exhale, allow that wave to drain out back towards the sea. Inhaling, the wave comes in, bringing life, energy. And exhale, the wave comes out. As you move through the rest of the day, know that you can always come back to the rhythmic waves of your breath for guidance. As our world, our environment is sometimes so unpredictable and so outside of our control. Know that how we ride those waves, how we handle whatever situations we are in, we have full control over. Allow the rhythms of the breath to help you through those moments of frustration or anger. There is a place for every human emotion, but only you know when that is. As you take one more inhale, feel the expansion of the breath go through the entire body, and exhale as it leaves. flutter the eyes open. Come back to your present moment. We bring our hands to heart center and we say namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for being here.